Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and this week I'm going to feature the final on this build here of my 69 Roadrunner A12 446 pack packaged car here. This build, like many others, and I'm happy to say it's finished, and I'm very happy with it, even though it's taken a while. And it's one of those builds, and as you saw on my other video, that some things happen and sometimes you gotta take a couple of steps back. This build was no different for me. It all started back in 2014 when I was restoring a few of these. It kind of happens in batches. It's kind of funny how I was restoring another 69 Roadrunner hardtop, which I featured on the channel, and I'll show you that one in here as well. I was looking for parts and bodies because that one had a broken A-pillar, and I was looking to repair it or fix it, and ironically another friend of mine gave me a 69 GTX Johan kit, and it was cut into a convertible, and so I needed some parts for that one and some parts for the other one, and I was looking for convertible bits. Well, I had quickly discovered that Johan didn't make a 69 GTX convertible kit. Somebody had cut the roof off and did a pretty nice job. But I had all of the chrome, and I was kind of just looking for things, and that one I needed a body, but I had everything else. And my 69 Roadrunner, I was kind of looking for a body or some way to fix the A-pillar or some things to do there. Parts were coming my way. Somebody had offered me this one, said, hey, this one's got a really good body, it's got a lot of parts. I'll put some pictures up there, I got a number. But it was already built and pretty much an A12 package car, kind of like it appears here, even though I really didn't use any of those parts. So in the photos you can see it already had the AMT chassis under it. I was missing the firewall. It had a 440 engine in it, but it had a 4-barrel on it, a big meaty Dominator carb on it, Pro Street exhaust on it, some big meaty tires in the back, but it had the resin A12 hood on it. And I liked it, and it had the interior from the re-release, so it had the 70 interior in it. So I was just kind of like, alright, this is cool, this is a good body, I can use this. Emblems were already sanded off, I believe, on the doors. I have to look closely at the pictures again. Maybe they were there. But I was looking at them really close, and this is a really nice body. And chrome needed to be redone. It was pretty decent. Chrome Tech Bob did all of my chrome. Chrome Tech USA. Unfortunately, he's retired, but he's done a lot of chroming for me. So a lot of my projects have been re-chromed by him, and I've been sending him chrome literally religiously for a number of years. So I've got a ton of build-ups and rebuilders that he's done chrome work for, and many of them I haven't even built yet. And this was one of them where I actually did all of the chrome on it. And funny story on this one too, came to the taillights here. So I'll tell you this real quick. These are the taillight bezels chromed. Now, during the build of this, I had lost the taillights. I had no idea where the bezels went, and I had the lenses, but where the chromed bezels went. And I was like, oh man, I know I had a bunch of them because my other 69 had them, but I had already used them, and I know I had a set for this. So it was another one of the setbacks. But when I was building it, that's setback number 2 basically, but when I was building it and getting farther along, I started, paint was done and things were getting farther along, and I was really happy with it. But I noticed they were missing. So I put the word out to friends and was able to get some resin taillight lenses and some resin bezels, but they weren't chromed, so I painted them silver. So in one of my previous videos, if you notice they're silver and now they're chrome again, it's because when I was looking for the chrome bezels, I couldn't find them. Now I'm 90% done with this, and I had wrapped the front bumper, the grill, in tissue paper, and separate pieces of toilet paper actually, and the rear bumper in toilet paper. And I'd opened the rear bumper and I opened the grill, but for whatever reason I didn't unwrap this front bumper. And I don't know why, but I wrapped the taillight bezels in with the front bumper. Normally I'd wrap them with the rear bumper because it's the rear of the car. but I'd never really unwrapped that one. And sure enough, the bezels were there. And I had already glued them into this body and painted it. So I gently pried them back out and managed not to damage the paint job and put the chrome ones back in. So I got the chrome ones back in on this one. But that was another setback. When I was restoring this, I pulled it all apart. The body and glass were great. Those were keepers. All the chrome was there. All the major parts of the body were there. So back in 2014, or a few years after that, because I don't think it was available right away. I was looking at different things. Modelhaus came out with the kit to do the A12 conversion to the Johann kit here. And it came with the hood, and it came with the entire interior. I'm like, cool, I want that. And it came with these wheels and tires. So all of those parts are Modelhaus. So I ordered that kit. I'm like, all right, now I've got the full A12 interior, which has the bench seat, the proper door panels, nice dash, Roadrunner, and steering wheel and everything, the 4-speed. And it's a nice interior. And it's made to fit the Johann chassis, which I actually had. When I bought this kit, he supplied the original chassis, but he put the other one on it. So I had the chassis as well. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can use that on another one. And I think I did use that on the GTX, but I'm not really sure exactly where that one went. Now that I had Modelhaus hood and interior, I sold the other hood because the Modelhaus hood was a little bit better. And I had everything to do this, so I started to build it. Got the bodywork all done, painted this green, this rally green here. Got the decals from Keith Marks Decals, and all painted up, and I was fitting the interior. Now this is a case where when you're kit bashing so many parts, make sure everything fits. So this interior tub, it was fitting the glass, and I can get the chassis in there, and it was fitting really nicely. But once I glued the dash in, it didn't fit. Something with the glass and the dash was pushing it around, and it was just not fitting really well. And I was kind of bummed about that. And after fitting it multiple times and scratching the paint, it ended up getting tossed in the box, and I decided I'll work on the other Roadrunner, and I did finish that one. That's this one, by the way. So you've seen this one. It's been featured on my channel, and this one is all Johann chassis and everything. So you can go in my library and look up the video for this one when I built this one. But so this one ended up in the box and sitting until recently when I decided I'm going to showcase this, get this build going, even though it's a little bit frustrating. Tore it all apart, getting everything refitted, checking everything, fought with the interior and the dash, trimmed, cleaned. Now this was meant to be used with the Johann chassis, but I used the AMT chassis. Well, there's a lot of shaving and cutting and trimming and getting everything to fit. And even this last little bit, I had made space these wheels out because these wheels are too far in. Now they're kind of too far out, but I like them where they're at. Got all of the chassis fitted and finally got everything fitted, and I'm like, alright, I'm finally past the hurdle. I can finish this thing. 2 bottles of paint from Scale Finishes, 2 sets of decals from Keith Marks because I had to repaint the whole car. And I didn't clear coat it. I had I didn't have any clear coat on it. I had the decals on it, but do all the fitting and whatnot, I had scratched up the paint, and because I had the decals on it, I really couldn't save the decals, so I had to order another set of decals. But got all of it done, and then I had to paint these wheels a couple of times as well. Just got resin dust on them and some of that stuff. And when you're sanding resin, make sure you have a face mask covering, because some of that resin dust gets in your lungs and you can have a reaction and it can make you feel sick. So just a little word. But there was a lot of grinding and sanding and a lot of fitting to get this interior, so a lot of resin dust all over things, and it sticks, and it's kind of a pain to deal with. So a lot of cleaning and keeping this thing going. Got the hood. The hood fit pretty much right out of the box. If I can get it off, decided to stick really good. Really happy with the way the hood came out. I used Protex hood pins on this one, and they're a one piece, but photo etched, and they're really nice. And then Keith Marks decal right there on the side of the hood, which I think is just a tad small. Let it focus on it. There it goes. It's a tad small. I'd like it a little bit bigger, but I also had Fred Katie decals, and they're twice as big, and they're just way too big. And then I sprayed the semi-gloss black at kind of a distance to give it a little bit of that texture look, so it has the texture look to it. And then cleaned and sanded the whole underside. Kind of made little spacers there to push the back of the hood up to get it to sit level. Here's the 446 pack, right from pretty much the 70 Super B kit, which is what I had used for the engine and chassis. Added the heater hoses and the spark plug wires. You saw my video on running the wires. You know they're there, but they're kind of hard to see. And the brake booster and some of the little updates I had done to it, and all the decals. Got to have the purple beep beep horn. But and then there's those steel wheels. It'll focus. There it goes. Really like these wheels. And the Modelhaus tires. And the whole underside's done. I like the over restored look, so that's what I went with here. And painted the entire K-frame body color like it should be if you're doing it that way. But really happy with this. And it's finally done, but it was kind of an ongoing, not really an ongoing battle, just lost interest, ended up in my pile like many of them do. But as you saw, I didn't really go over the Roadrunner story because I did have this build up, and I featured it recently as a kind of a teaser. Let me back the camera up a little bit. So now you know I got two A12 package cars, and they're the same but completely different. Like in my previous video, I talked about this one started off as an AMT GTX, and it was Perry's resin conversion kit, but I used a Modelhaus grill because theirs was chromed. Perry's was pretty much the same, but it wasn't chromed. Same decals, but here's the photo etch pins that are on this one. These are the multi-piece pins, and they're a real pain to deal with. And you can see they kind of flop around and get loose, so it's a real pain to clean around. But it's pretty much the same Super B engine, the 70 Super B engine, and built this one up. And then used Johan taillights from Modelhaus on these ones, and instead of the AMT ones. And she came out nice. Don't really care for these tires as much, but that's the AMT ones that I had and used at the time. But there's two A12 Roadrunners. So those are pretty cool, and they look good together. And as you know, I did the A12 Super B, so I showed you. There's a video on that A12 Super B, and a little trick for you. You want to make the scale difference disappear between 1/24 and 1/25 scale. Put the 1/24 scale cars in the back, and put the 1/25 in the front. And then my original Super B, that's also in that video. That's the one I built in the early 90s. I built that one, and that's a more recent one, Super B. And then I built this one about the same time as I believe I did that one, and these ones were real done at a similar time. And now I just did this one, so there's four of them, and of course I got other B bodies, but I had to do a group shot, so I had to dig some of these out. Like that one was definitely stashed away, but because I haven't decided if I'm going to rebuild that one or not. Kind of want to, kind of don't, but now that the kit's been re-released and much easier to find, I'll probably just pick up another kit. But there's four of my A12 package cars, and just a car that I think is really cool, especially for a true drag packaged car that was available on the showroom floor that you can buy and drive away. Really cool cars. So thank you for tuning in and subscribing, and all of your comments. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and subscribe and all that good stuff, and hit that like button. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next Saturday.